We are live.
Woohoo! Feels like it's been forever.
I was thinking that we missed like 1 week, or was it 2?
I think we missed 2 weeks.
I know. I was in Pennsylvania taking care of the old Jews who do not watch this, so I can say that about my parents. They're not dating later. And I guess it could be dating each other later live.
Yeah, that's great though.
I don't know if you
Great
could
that
hear
they're
that
still
ding
dating.
dong. They are. I mean, and that really is what keeps me still dating, is they are so sweet. I mean, and more as they've gotten older. Like my mom is feisty, but now my dad's 92, my mom's 88, and the way they like take care of each other is really sweet.
Mm, that's great.
Okay, I have a
So is it good?
story.
Okay, yes.
Forget the visit. Okay, so this has been on my mind, and it's not going to be that funny because it's really funny to me. And I've realized that sometimes I should be a better storyteller, but when I can see it in my head, this is the funny. So here's something I've been thinking about since that matchmaker date a while ago that wasn't, it didn't click. And a friend said to me, yeah, I know. You need to be happy in your own life first before you find someone. That was her quick assumption about this man. And I said, you know what? He really loved his life. And he so did. He was interesting and smart. He had hobbies and he loved them. And he had kids and a career. And as I was sitting across from him, it was like, wow, you're very content. There's not really any room for anybody else. So this is what started me thinking, and it's mostly men in my experience. My women clients don't, they're busy, but their lives don't feel optimized. Here's where you can correct me if I'm wrong. But it felt like he was optimized. Like, is that a word you associate with women?
I think I do in some instances.
Okay.
And I would say that and this is a relatively new distinction to me, but in I hear a lot of women read online, talk about how they're independent. But when you take into account the body of their words and their being, it's more along the lines, and this isn't always, but it's more along the lines of anti-dependent than independent.
Yes. And that for me, and I know, disclaimer, we're not speaking about any specific groups of people. When you say that, I start thinking, yes, because I can imagine completely being independent, verging on anti dependent as a woman. And when I think optimized, like, now I'm hesitating to say the name of any of these podcasters, but there are a number of male podcasters out there where it's like fine tune your macros, really optimize everything in your life. Here's an example. So a while ago, I was on a first date with someone. Again, these stories are just to share patterns, not to share stories. And if you're laughing, please laugh at me because it's always me. So it was great. I connected with this man, and he didn't live in Austin. He lived in, I think it was Houston. And I said, great, let's meet in between and we'll do coffee. And he said, you know what? Why don't I just come to Austin? I used to live there. I have friends there. I love, he probably called it Lady Bird Lake. Great. So he got here. We had coffee. It was really fun. We went out to dinner. I'm very direct, as we know and have previously established. And I said, and I think this is really good with dating. Clarity is kindness and it makes for less tension. I'm not sleeping in your hotel, not because I live in Austin, but because this is like a first meeting. We had never met each other before. And he said, okay. So we went on through the night and went out to dinner, and it was great. And we went up to the hotel room, and I don't remember, maybe we were just kissing a little bit, whatever. And in the middle of the kiss, he looks up and he says, oh, I need to take my supplements. And he runs over to the desk where he had all of his supplements lined up, and he takes a couple of things. And I'm just standing there, and I looked at him and said, did you really just stop kissing so you could take melatonin? And he said, yes. It's 9:30. It takes 90 minutes to kick in. Melatonin interacts with magnesium, so I needed to take both of them now at 9:30 if I plan to be asleep by probably 11. And I was like, holy shit. Now, yes, I had said I wasn't sleeping over, but I think that's what I mean. Like, this man was very smart, successful, together, happy. His life was so optimized. There wasn't room for anybody else.
That story will never not make me laugh.
I wish I could, like, it's a feeling, but I just remembered thinking, oh, this is pretty good. It's pretty romantic. And then he's like, I need to take my supplements. And maybe if it had been like some like anti-inflammatory or some sort of corticosteroid, it's melt.
Like he has premeditated the snooze. Like,
I know. It's like, and it really, that is what I'm feeling like. We're all living longer because we are so fit. And when we're over the age of 50, we're taking care of ourselves and we're reading and we're busy. And it's like, do we get our lives so optimized? And I guess it really is just full. But in that moment, I don't know why it just clicked like there is never going to be, if you're stopping making out with me the first time we've met to take your melatonin so you can fall asleep in an hour and a half, something may be going horribly wrong.
yeah, that's first of all, I mean, were you just like eyeing the door, like trying to create the exit? How do I get out of this?
No, because I knew he'd be asleep in an hour and a half.
11:01, you're out the
I
door.
know. I should have said, just put your wallet on the nightstand. And it was, and it's like, here's the thing too, and men, I know, I really think men are more focused on this than women. In my experience, they really want a woman who is fit, and that's why men, I think, sometimes date younger. And as these men who are 50 and up get more fit, I mean, it is so much optimizing. I don't, can't even think of another word.
No, I think it's a great word. It's like, not to name names on a podcaster, but there's one in particular who's very science based and career. And sometimes I think, how does this guy, I mean, does he just get up at like,
Huberman.
yeah, does he get up at 4 a.m. and then just like he's
Yeah.
taking supplements until noon? Like, and then,
And
okay,
does this optimization protect you from intimacy? I mean, that's what I keep, because I was really curious. When I coach, I like to come from a place of curiosity and in my whole life. And so I said, did your bracelet vibrate? Is that how you knew it was time to take the supplements? And he said, no, I just realized it was 9:30 and I needed 90 minutes for it to kick in. And I thought, oh, I mean, I guess it's not protecting you from intimacy because we knew where the night was ending, but apparently at 11. But
you got your curfew.
I don't know why. And it didn't strike me as strange, like, oh, this guy's weird at all. It struck me as he was very disciplined and everything felt optimized, almost similar to the man from the matchmaker who was also great, contented, loved his life. And is that what we're doing now with, I'm sure you've seen where everybody's talking about health span over lifespan because it's how healthy you remain in your later years. Like, are we optimizing the shit out of everything? And that's half the reason we're not dating well.
Well, and I mean, just to strike this distinction, maybe for people listening, like you're well optimized, and this
I know.
struck you as
I thought
like,
I was rigid until I met you, friend. And it was funny because I told, apparently I have no friends, and my daughter's moving out. I'm very sad because who am I going to chase around and tell these stories to? But I said, told her the story because she's now almost 21, and she was like, she's like, okay, during the week, I'm just gonna say I'm not embarrassed. I am. During the week, I like to be brushing and flossing my teeth at 9 because that shit takes a while when you're older. And in my bed by 9:30 during the week. But she's like, on the weekends, if you're out, it's like 11, 1 a.m. That, so what, I don't wouldn't think of myself as, yeah, I don't know, because you're right. Like, that's what I thought too. I'm pretty routinized, but I'm not taking melatonin on a date. I draw the line at that.
I mean, it's so good that it's you and you don't tell yourself these wild stories about, you don't make that mean anything about you that he's taking
No,
that.
no,
But I could
no,
see
because
where
if I
that
was
would
so boring, he wouldn't have needed the melatonin. I would have put him to sleep.
the yeah, I could see where that would send many a person into a
Yeah.
tailspin about, oh my gosh, yes, I think back to this notion that I was told many years ago about like what does your physical space look like? Do you if we went out to your vehicle right now, could somebody just get in the passenger seat? Is it cleaned out, or do you have to like dig water bottles or whatever?
Oh,
Is it
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is it clean, and is it something that somebody would want to sit in next to you? And then you can carry that on the old thought about like your closet. Are there
Yep.
room? Is there room for clothes, someone else's clothes in
I
your
had
closet? I'll
friends who
spit
would
it out
do that,
eventually.
leave space. And that's interesting because my space is my, is there space for somebody else here? I don't know.
Well, and that also, though, for me, like, I think now I'm more of the opinion of the belief, the fandom of living in different spaces.
Yeah,
So
I know. Keep going.
I don't know
Because
if
that allows
if
you to
that's
operate. I mean,
another
on some level, it is another episode. But
teaser.
yes, I'm trying to think. Like, I remember that closet space thing. I'd forgotten about that. That a dear friend of mine, and she's married now, so maybe it worked, but would leave half of her closet empty. I wonder, and with my coaching clients having nothing to do with dating, I will sometimes ask them to do this exercise if they have someone in their life they feel comfortable with looking at their calendar and telling them what they, based by what they have on there, what are their priorities. Now it's kind of difficult sometimes because like I'll go to the gym but it's not on my calendar, but that like our calendars are a reflection of
Yeah.
our priorities. And so if someone looked at this individual's calendar, I think it would be very clear that there probably wasn't space for somebody else just from the snippets of conversation.
Yeah, I think um, maybe that's the work to do here is to look at, because we're pointing energetically to, is there room for somebody else in your life? And I think that can manifest in a whole myriad
Yep.
of,
Yeah.
myriad ways. So
Is there room? Yes. And now I was thinking about that. If someone looked at my calendar, it's a tough one because I think I tend to look at my weeks and think, okay, I don't have any plans yet and I want something every night, whatever it is. So I'll put something in there because I shouldn't say I'm living alone, but I'll soon be living alone. That, so I plan stuff, but it's clear there's a lot of energetic room, even in that, for someone else to join me in these things. Maybe that's some of it too, because a lot of this individual stuff just, was not something you would invite someone into.
yeah, I think I know like the time periods of time that you and I have been connected where you're dating actively, like somebody says, "Hey, let's go to coffee." You're a yes.
I
I
know,
mean, unless
yeah.
they're a no, obviously, but like you've
But you're
always been,
right.
there's
And
that.
I'm curious, so I feel it like this could be my next best friend, my person. You're right. So leaving space.
Yeah, it could be your supplement dispenser.
I know. And I wonder, I mean, I can't tell. Oh, look, my friend Steven is watching us. So, Steven, I'm talking to you. But I really hope that people will jump in maybe on the Substack post because I may be alone and really thinking, are we hitting a point where we're optimizing everything to the nth potential and we're happy, but there's no room for anybody else? I don't know if I'm alone in thinking that.
I don't think you are. It would be interesting to hear that. I'm also curious now that we're talking about it. This literally just came to me, so I haven't thought it through. Like most of my life. The Is it also true that you can be so under optimized that there's not space for someone?
Oh yeah, that's called a shit show. But I think you're
It's a
spot
red
on.
flag.
No, that's interesting because you can be so chaotic. Is that what word would you use?
I love chaos. Chaotic is a great one.
Like that tornado. And maybe
Yeah, because
there is no happy medium.
maybe the happy medium is where the good stuff lives.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And yes, I mean, I think you're exactly right that the takeaway is for me, for you, for all of us to look at our calendars and think, okay, if someone saw this, would they think we had space? And some of it's almost a like this individual's phone had all of the apps for the food diaries and all that kind of thing optimized, like too busy focusing on that to really have space for someone to join.
Yeah, and I think you can read it in dating profiles. You can get a sense of this person. You'll people will say it. Hey, I'm super busy, and I'll make there's languaging around that. There's really not that much uh, room for someone else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you and I have talked a bunch over the years about setting intentions. And I think it's what you said. I wouldn't call myself optimized, but movement and being fit is a big part of my self definition. That it's really given me an awareness of being really intentional to show up as not taking melatonin while I'm on a date. Like that is apparently the key rule. Do not do that. And there was, I mean, we both laughed about it, but I mean, I was shocked and it was very matter of fact. Are you really taking melatonin when we are in the middle of a date kissing? Maybe we shouldn't send this one out, but I'll throw myself under the bus.
That's the best.
Okay, so we're going to look at our calendars. And then what did you say? Because this is what we're going to do next week. You said that's another, and now I've already lost my train of
Oh,
thought because I loved it.
maybe I was gonna say living apart, but maybe what is your ideal relationship? What are the pieces that you want in a relationship that maybe aren't the way uh, society or our
Love it.
families have trained us up? Something like that.
I love that because there's a range from what we expect is traditional to the new two primaries to living apart together. Perfect. Okay, I got to go
Yes.
take my melatonin because I have 9 minutes
Yes.
before I get.
So yes, look at that's the challenge this week is look at the calendars, just be in the inquiry of like, hey, is my space inviting? Am I energetically inviting? Like, what are these things?
I loved what you said about the car, everything, the truck. I love all of that.
Absolutely. All right.
Okay, I will see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.